being able to make that extra 10,000 a month gives me more capital to invest in more things, being able to reach more people.
I want to change lives. I want to show people how to progress in their money. I want to show people how to progress in their mindset. I want to show people how to progress in their brand, so that way they can take care of their family, take care of their finances, and experience freedom.
Thank you, Ivan, for joining us on our Progretta podcast, where we're showcasing our amazing entrepreneurs and their stories using our platform. Can you introduce yourself and give us a little snapshot of who you are and your business?
Yes, of course. My name is Ivan, and you can find me on social media at Ivan the Investor. That's my handle there. I do infinite banking, and I use that to help people to pay off debt, save for retirement, save for their kids' college. In general, just build wealth. A lot of investors are working with me as well. It's just kind of a way to make your money work in two places, so to speak, and save a little bit of money on taxes. It's a very cool strategy. And the reason I do this is because I actually struggled with debt myself in the past, and I came from a poor family in Eastern Europe, so it was very, very hard for me to overcome that mentality of being poor and just switch that and start doing business. And now my mission is to help people do the same for themselves. So
that's amazing, that you're paying it back. How long have you been doing what you're doing?
It's been about 2.5 to 3 years now. Since I started doing this. I was doing a different types of investments before that. So overall, about 7 years in business now.
Okay. So you've been in the game for a while. So what brought you to Progretta? What attracted you to the platform?
Actually, I've been looking for CRM that's kind of like overall that allows me to do everything as far as like texting, emailing my clients, following up with them, keeping them organized based on what stage they are into my sales pipeline. And Progretta was the one. Actually, my wife, Nicolina Beauty on Instagram, she started with you guys first. And I just saw how amazing you guys did for her. And I was like, okay, I got to do that. I got to get on it as soon as possible. So I was actually planning to start towards the end of this year. But then, as I said, as soon as I saw her results, I'm like, I need to get on this right away. So.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's great to, Progretta is now a household name in your household. I love your wife. She's amazing to work with. She's so energetic. But that's great. So what results particularly are you referencing to when you say that you saw them and you're like, oh, I need to get on this?
For me, I know how her business was running before Progretta, and I know how hard it was for her to follow up with leads, keep them organized, keep them into pipelines, have those automations to take off some of her workload. She was doing everything by hand. And a lot of her leads were actually slipping through the cracks. Same for myself, for my business as well. You put those leads into like spreadsheets and then inefficient CRMs, and you just forget to follow up with them, or they don't get the attention they need to get in order to convert. So I saw how Progretta helped her organize all that and put it into one big platform to help her be more organized and make sure all those leads are taken care of and they get the attention they need to in order to convert. So I see how her business improved. I mean, she started making more sales, and same for me as well. Since I started working with you guys, it's just been a smooth sailing. I love it.
What's the biggest difference that you've noticed since joining Progretta for your business?
For my business, just, it helped me take off workload off my hands and be able to focus on other things. Like, for example, I was relying on organic traffic before I started working with Progretta. And I've always had in mind to start running Facebook ads to supplement that organic traffic. But since I was busy communicating and texting with customers all the time, trying to get them to book appointments and stuff like that, I always thought that, hey, if I start running ads, actually I tried this before in January of, or actually in December of 2021, and I got so many leads out of a sudden I just couldn't keep up with them. So I was like, literally had a pre-made text message that I'll just copy and paste to everyone. And of course, when you don't give them attention, half of those leads never booked appointment, never converted. So I actually ended up stopping the ads because I wasn't seeing the return of that. And having the automations in Progreda now actually helps me nurture those leads. So the automation takes majority of the work when it comes to texting and booking appointments, and I actually can focus on actually doing those appointments with my clients and then closing the deals, which is obviously what brings the money in the business. So that's the thing that I see the biggest change with, I'd say.
Yeah, it's great. And I've seen some of the automations that you've put together and they're very impressive. Did you have experience putting automations together, or do you feel like Progreda is just a little more easier to use?
Yeah, Progreda is very intuitive. I do have a little bit experience, not with automations, more of like a programming. So I know the basic logic behind it. Like, hey, if let's say clients say this is what's going to happen, and Progreda was just so intuitive to put all this together. Like you said, you've seen some of my automations. My goal was to make them as human-like as possible, just because I believe that people, when they communicate with human, they're more likely to respond and to give you the information you need, like, for example, email and phone number and book the appointment. So for me, my goal was to make them as human as possible. And I think I've done pretty well with that. Even Andy, he was testing out my automations a couple of days ago, and he said, I thought you were texting, for half of the time. So I think we did pretty well with that, and just like very intuitive, very easy to work with, and very easy to follow that step by step, so to speak. Even the help menu, you guys have that little help guide whenever I have questions. Like, for example, I was setting up my Facebook pixel yesterday, and it was just so easy. I went in and typed pixel in there, and it literally gave me a step-by-step guide of how to do it. So plus, obviously, the support I'm getting from you guys, it's been amazing. Whenever I have questions, we've been back and forth with you for a while. So definitely easy to work with. Very easy to work with.
Yeah, we're always here for our clients. We want to make sure you guys get the best experience. I know any CRM can be overwhelming at first, but that's why we're here. How has it for you gone using our opportunities and pipelines?
Oh, that's amazing. That's you literally just open up the opportunities, and you can see every single lead in what stage they are, and all the communication with them. So if, for example, I'm looking for someone in particular, let's say somebody went in and scheduled an appointment, I don't know where they came from. I can go in and click on their name in the opportunities, and I'll find out exactly what kind of communication they went through. Did they receive emails? Did they receive text messages? Did they went on my website? What did they do on my website? It's kind of like step by step. So it's great. Like having everything at a glance, you can see, like, for example, I never knew what my closing rate was before. I had a rough idea of how many leads I need to in order to close a certain amount of deals, but I never knew the exact number. Here, I just look at it and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm closing. So I can reverse engineer it and say, hey, this is how many leads I need to get in every single month so I can close that many deals, make that much money, So definitely very, very amazing. I love it.
Yeah, Progreda is really great in giving data and giving you, that conversion rate, that closing rate. So for you, have you noticed that you're dealing with more leads? Are you just closing more? What differences have you noticed? Both
actually. I'm getting more leads and I'm closing more leads. As I said, my calendar is actually pretty full. I was literally just on a call up until 10 minutes before this appointment, and I'm getting on another call as soon as we wrap up here. So definitely being busy and closing more people and just being organized, like being able to give them that webinar I give them to watch. That webinar was part of my presentation before. So it's 15 to 20 minutes video I send them to watch, and then they can see that video, and half of my job is done before they even schedule the appointment. So that's it's great.
Yeah, you mentioned that half your job is done. Do you mind elaborating on that?
Yeah. As I said, right now the way my process works is like whenever the lead comes in from either organic or Facebook, it goes through my automation, which the automation communicates the value of what I do and how I do it through them, and have them watch a webinar, which is literally a 15-minute video. So as soon as they see that video, it prompts them to book an appointment. And that video, that 15-20-minute video, was part of my process before, where I would book an appointment, go over the information that's in the video with the customer before I can explain or start customizing the plan for them, and start showing them, for example, how long it's going to take them to pay off the debt, or how long it's going to take them to save up for down payment on the house they want to buy, or how much money they can retire with, and all that stuff, which is on its own, it's about 30 to 45-minute process. So me being able to cut that 15 minutes of explanation, and I know that whenever a lead comes in, they've already seen that video, so they don't need that much explaining. It's just much easier for me to tell them, hey, did you watch the video? Yes, I did. Do you have any questions on the video? No, I don't. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and sit down and create a plan for you to show you how you can achieve your goals in the most efficient way. Versus before, it was like, okay, let's start from A and B and go over all that information. They understood half of it. They didn't understand the other half. They have like a million questions. And my appointment time was 1.5 to 2 hours. My appointment time right now is 45 minutes to 1 hour and 15 minutes. So I have the time to actually squeeze more appointments in the day versus just running a certain, we all have so many hours in the day. So
Yeah, right. So you want to cut off as much time as possible. So that's great to hear that Progretta is allowing you to pre-screen clients. So you're probably getting more serious clients now, right? Since they automatically get that video.
Yeah, definitely. The clients I get appointments with, I know that they're gonna more likely to buy, right? Versus before was always a flip of a coin, it's a 50-50, they either go with it or no. Now I know that they have the information of how everything works up front. So them booking the appointments means that they're more likely to do it. They're warmer, so to speak.
From one Progretta user to another Progretta user, what's some advice that you would give to someone contemplating about purchasing the platform, or somebody on the platform that may not be entirely happy with it? Like, what's some advice that you would give?
It's easier, I feel like, for people that, let's say, for example, don't have any experience with CRM and stuff like that. When you first see it, it might seem a little overwhelming. But my advice is just dive into it and step by step work with you guys and obviously purchase the big package where you guys build out a lot of the things for us. That was very helpful for me. That was one of the biggest reasons why I decided to go with Progretta, is just because it's not like, hey, do it yourself. Here is the data, and this is it. I have a whole team of people that are there to help me every step of the way and do things for me, like a lot of things like the website. And I've paid like pretty good amounts of money of do-it-yourself programs before, and ClickFunnels and stuff like that. And it wasn't working for me. It wasn't working because I am not a specialist in that. Yes, I do have a basic understanding, but that's not what I do for a living. I'd rather focus on what I do for a living and what I'm good at and make the money to actually be able to outsource to you guys so you can build the back end things for me. So just don't get overwhelmed is my big advice. Just follow the steps. As I said, if you can afford it, purchase the big package whenever Andy's and you guys built everything for us. So it's going to pay off. Just the time you're going to save alone of figuring out things, that's I cannot put value on it. It's just amazing, having all that support and just follow the process. That's it. One foot in front of the other. Everything's gonna get clearer, and it's gonna solve itself. Even though it might look complicated in the beginning, it's not that bad. I actually referred one of my people in the same industry I am to Andy. He's just now starting, and I see how he has millions of questions, and his project haven't even started yet. And I keep telling him, hey, his name is Clarence. Hey, Clarence, just go ahead and take it easy. The team is there to guide you, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to be doing whenever you need to be doing it. So just go ahead and follow this, and you'll see in 3-4 weeks from now, you're gonna have a build out project that it's gonna work, and it's gonna be churning money for you, you know. So
Love to hear that. Yeah, Andy was briefing me on Clarence, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so that's really great that this is working for you. You're bringing more people in the same industry. For you on Progretta, is it just you, or do you also have like additional staff members?
For me, it's just me for now, but I'm actually looking into possibly hiring one of your VAs. And I love that you guys do this. My wife, Nicolina, just hired a VA with you a couple of weeks ago, and she's been doing amazing, and she's so happy with it. Currently, I do have a VA that is working part-time for me, but she's not trained on Progretta, and I feel like having you guys to do the hiring and training for me, it's going to give me a better value for my money, even though, price-wise, it's not that big difference of what I'm paying my currently VA and what you guys charge for your VAs. So I'm looking into getting that going in the next couple of weeks here. Just that way I can take off even a little bit more of the workload from myself and just focus on doing the appointments where the VA can communicate with all those DMs and emails and back-end stuff, because the nature of my business, once I have a deal, I have a lot of stuff still I need to follow up on the back end. So being able to hire somebody to help me with that, I feel like it's going to improve my process even further. And just being able to have Andy give me advice of how to structure my business, that's like priceless. I could pay twice as much as you guys charge for having that alone. So
Great to hear. Right here at Audate Media, we really want to make sure our clients are succeeding, and we want them to know that we're here for them. In Progretta, how do you feel about our conversation tab? Because I know through there you can text, answer your DMs. Is it a tool that you use often?
Yeah, I use it all the time. I mean, it's great to where I can just go in and switch from having email or text or DM somebody. Like, for example, before I would have a missed appointments, right? Somebody's going to be running 10 minutes late. And a part of my process is like, hey, they missed their appointment. Now I need to go in and text them on message, text them on Instagram, email them. So that's like 4 platforms I need to go through, and then just juggle from one to another. Here, I can just go into the Progretta software and type in the same message and copy and paste it and send it via email, send it via text message, send it via DM. So I know that my show up rate is actually much better. Like a lot of times when you're running or late for appointment, or you forgot about appointment and you get message, email, and DM at the same time, you're like, oh, shoot, this guy is waiting for me out there. I'm wasting his time. Let me go in and do it. Versus before, it's just like, oh, okay, I'll text you. 5 minutes later, you might get an email. 10 minutes later, you might get a text message. And my show up rate wasn't as good. And I actually have an automation that also reminds them for the appointments now and send them a text message. So that's definitely helped me improve being able to conversate with them at the same place and just make it a streamline. Just copy paste. I can literally send them the 3 messages within a 1 minute versus it was a 15-minute process before,
Progretta has the template feature, which allows you to, use all those same messages that, you're constantly using to cut down that extra time.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually right now, it's on my to-do list. I just haven't got around to do it, but I want to build an automation where when they miss the appointments, I just plug them into the automation so they can get followed up with it on its own. So it's just as easy as selecting what automation I want to send them to. And the software does it for me. It's just great.
Yeah, I know. I love automations. They really make using the platform easier, really cuts down manpower. It gives you, some space to breathe. I know your business entails more being on the phone with people. But do you find yourself now having extra time to do extra items or put in your efforts into something else?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, I have more time to just run more appointments now. And, before I'd say my max was maybe 15 appointments a week. right now I can probably squeeze 25. So that's 10 more people I can sit in front with 25% close rate. That means 2.5 more deals every single week. And 2.5 more deals for me relates to additional 10,000 a month of income, So that's a big difference, like every business owners would like to, our goal is to, as much as, what I do is I do everything to help people. But at the same time, I like getting paid for my efforts. It's nothing wrong with that. So being able to make that extra 10,000 a month gives me more capital to invest in more things, being able to reach more people, being able to afford pay more for advertising, which relates ultimately to helping more people, which is the ultimate goal here is just like, hey, if I can help 10 people extra a month get out of debt and save additional 15, 20,000 in interest they were supposed to pay, that's my biggest reward. Like money is just like a side effect of it. So having the time to be in front of more people, priceless. You can't put a price on it. So
yes, I totally relate. I also came from a very low income family, and there's not enough resources out there for people. So it's really great to hear that you provide those resources and you help people get out of debt, because it's something really prevalent, but that's amazing. And as you move forward in your process, what is one of your goals with Progretta as you continue on?
My goal is actually my big goal, longer term, maybe a year or two from now, is just to be able to generate so many appointments to where I cannot obviously handle them myself. And then just hire more people, train staff that can just go in and have a preset appointments so they can continue helping those people and closing more deals. And we just the way I'm getting paid in my business is commission based. So the biggest struggle with new people in my business is that they don't see the results right away. And they don't get paid right away. And the way it works is they buy leads from, different lead gen companies and so on and so on. So those leads are not always quality leads. Here, I'm able to generate quality leads and send them to close so they can see the results right away in their bank account, which makes them A, more motivated to work, B, sticking for a long time in this business. The fall off rate right now in this business is about 90%. So for every 10 people that start in this business, one person makes it. So right now I want to change that. I want to change this industry to the point where I'm able to generate leads or appointments for those people, just give it to them, and we just do a commission split. So I handle the front end of it. I spend the money on ads. I spend the software and the time building this whole system to where it generates appointments for them. And they just need to focus on the thing they're good at. Not everybody is a marketing specialist. And I understand that, and I want to eliminate that. So it's kind of like clearly changing the business, like a business that's 100 years old and it's still operating the old ways. A lot of people are still doing door knocking and cold calling, which is not the way marketing works nowadays. I kind of want to take that and bring it to the future. So big goals ahead, and I'm excited. I'm excited about that.
Well, I'm so confident that you can reach that. You've done so amazing just from when I first met you like a couple months ago, and just seeing how much, you've grown already. Your goals, like you're going to get to them, no problem. And I hope Progretta can help you, pass those and just continue on with your journey.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited working with you guys. It's just been it's exactly 2 months since I started. So in 2 months, such a big changes in my business. Like really, I've always before struggled with being organized and having a plan, so to speak. Now everything is so streamlined that the plan is kind of working itself out. So everything else is just doing the work, which is the easy part. So.
Oh, 2 months, you got two extra sales every week, thousands of extra dollars. That's amazing. It's a really great story. And I hope anyone who listens to this can make that choice to go with Progretta and see the success that you're seeing.
Yeah, definitely. You guys it's a no-brainer. You just need to do it, overcome the fear. We as entrepreneurs and then people in general, everybody's afraid of, oh, okay, I'm going to invest that money. Am I going to see returns? But sometimes you just need to do it and just follow the process and then the returns are going to come, so don't overthink it. Just go ahead and do it. I promise you're not going to regret it.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for joining us and giving us your time and your story. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Myra. Enjoy the rest of the day.